Hello everyone and welcome to Smash Look at Prison Architect. Fraz here as always, and this is brought to you by Introvision Software. It is releasing very shortly, or probably already has by the time this video goes out. But if you're wondering what Prison Architect is you have to build, manage, and deal with all the consequences and daily life of building or making your own prison work. And there's a lot to consider. There is so much depth to this game. It is awesome, and it's really nice to see that it's finally coming out of early access and, you know, version 1.0, and there's so much being added and it's great. Now, my idea for this video is I'm going to show you a bit of base building, a bit of prison building, and also a bit of the sort of campaign. So it's because they'll be already built up prisons in a way. And there's really some fantastic sort of storylines going on. And I love the way it's sort of presented and everything, how it's done. It's really nice. There's no voice acting in that, but it's really fantastically done. Anyway, yes, we're here, but what I'm going to quickly do is just show you some of the options you have. Now, you've got graphics, which is auto filtering, you know, windowed if you want. Audio is very nice, you know, you've got master volume. It's very interesting the way they've done master volume, because it's like 187 point, and it's like, it goes to like 200 odd, and it's like, and you can, you know, you swap stereo, game, auto save timer, room checker box. I highly recommend this, because half the time you're like, why is this room not filling in? You've got time-lapse, you know, camera mode, playback rate, capture interval, quality as well, language. There is so many. We want to stick to English, please. I kind of got scared there because it was like, oh, no, and then it was going to crash and then didn't crash. It's always nice. But yes, you're welcome to what we're in version 1.0. It is released or releasing. I've really only kind of played through the campaign. I love it to bits. I don't know whether to do a series on it or not. I'm kind of like thinking on it. I'm not too sure yet, but we'll see. But I'll go into the campaign. But what I'm going to do is create a new prison. Now, there's lots of things to consider. You can choose your warden. I don't know which one to go with. Ruthless and terrifying. I might just go the warden. You can also choose between small, medium, and large. I'm just going to go small currently. You can also choose fog of war, generate forest, generate lakes. Oh, that might no. Generate buildings, failure conditions, gangs, events, cause events to occur during the game to keep you on your toes. Adds extra challenge. Gonna go with that just now. Unlimited funds, don't know if I want to do unlimited funds just now, but gangs will arrive with gang allegiances, will attack rival gang members on site. Extra challenge. I'll leave it to just now because I want to show you how you kind of get your thing up and running. But obviously I'm not going to be doing too in depth. I'll probably do something kind of fairly small, so you get the idea of how the building works and how you get prisoners and everything. So I'm just going to click play, and there we go. Here's some builders coming down. You also have a speed and a time of day that you can do stuff. There's a lot of icons down here that you can see. These things refer to when you have your if I could just pause this. These things refer to when you actually have the game up and running. One thing to note is you can control with WASD, and also the mouse pointer is very good. As you notice, the art style is fairly sort of simple, but it's very sharp. I like it. It's very, very sharp. You can zoom right in if you really want. Obviously, that's not going to look too good, but then what would if you were, you know, sticking your face to a screen? And we've got deliveries and garbage. Basically, anything that's garbage, of course, is going to go here. All your sort of resources and that is going to be delivered here. Now, you can make some stuff and sell it. There is workshops and everything, but I'll get into that as we go along. So you've got the shakedown, the lockdown, and the bang up. This is basically stuff when you have guards around, patrolling and everything. And then the shake up you kind of periodically do, because you might, if you see people hitting each other with weapons, then you're like, right, okay. It can really tick your prisoners off, but it's a way to kind of keep your safety, you know, everybody kind of going in a bit. What we have here is reports. So we have total staff. We've got your prisoners, which there's none in at the moment. Intake, we're going to reduce that to none just now, because we don't want to bring anyone in when we don't have any prison to set up. You also have jobs, which basically you can set some prisoners to partake in helping teach, helping with workshops and everything. You have your needs. You need a psychologist to prepare this report, unfortunately. You also get regime, which, you know, once we have a warden, we'll be able to do that. Because you also have grants. If you do these, you'll get, you get an advance payment, and then you get a completion bonus. So your basic detention center is probably going to be your first one. These are very, very much what you're going to get a lot of your money from, as well as taking in prisoners and stuff like that. Programs are really, really cool because it's basically like once you have your regime set up and you'll have people, you know, sleep, shower and eat and everything, but then you'll have time to work, so they'll be able to do stuff and, you know, almost like bursts of creativity because they want to get out here. Anyway, let's get down to this side. So of course you get emergencies if you really want, and paramedics, riot police and fire engines. Kind of self-explanatory in that sense. Planning. Okay, planning is very, very good because you can make your walls, because it's just a case of, you know, there you go, and right click removes it. So ideally you're going to be, you know, wanting to do something in that sense, and then you get your pathways. You know, if you wanted to create a pathway here, so your pathway is going to be, you know, for objects, right, I want objects around here. It's like how you want to sort of think Sims. And really, that's kind of like the idea of, obviously you're building a big prison, so it's kind of, that's different. But think Sims in a way that you're going to be able to, you know, I want a building here, but then I want a pathway that leads up to this, like so. And then, you know, I want to, right, that's there, and then we have a building up to this way, a building up to this way, so on and so forth. You kind of get the general idea, but I'm going to do a bit more planning in the sense once I've shown you these bits. So you've got foundations, which for the outside, you can either put building of brick, building of concrete. You also can have it auto lights if you want, and build those. Materials of loads of stuff here, particular for your floor, and then you've got your walls, which will basically be building your inner walls, and also perimeter wall. You're going to need that, trust me. You've got your rooms, which is if I just quickly create a room. Actually, I'll do it while we're going on, because I'll take the first grant and kind of just build from there. Now, your rooms is basically, you don't just build a room and then it's automatically kind of like set as something. You have to then designate whatever that's going to be. So, of course, cells kind of self-explanatory. You know, that's going to be like where prisoners are. You've got a holding cell, which is a bigger cell that you can put a bunch in, you know, where people are going to go until cells are like made available. Solitary confinement, so on and so forth. Canteen, kitchen. Some of these are locked until you get certain units in your actual prison. I almost said base because I'm used to RTS games at the moment. But you've got a load of sort of things here, you know. You've got forestry and classroom and library. This kind of just gives your prisoners something to do. I mean, if you have them working in a workshop, they'll be able to then generate stuff for you. Fit in the mailroom, sorting through mail and everything. You know, using them as sort of to replace staff. Well, not even replace staff members because they kind of get taught by staff members, but helps out. Objects, there is a lot of objects. You may think, that's not a lot of objects. There's a lot of objects. You can actually like search whatever you want, you know. If you say that it comes up in a room, right, it wants such and such, you can actually just type in, if I type in sofa, you know, let's get, there you go. You can already get it down, which is a nice wee way to just do stuff. You can also, no, it's not actually in this. I was thinking you could create folders there, but I'm tripping. You could have your staff, which of course you've got your workmen, guard, or your kind of main force in a way. Armed guard, if you really want to. Doctor, gardener, janitor, dog handler, psychologist, foreman, chief, warden, cook, and accountant, lawyer. Now you've got utilities. Now utilities are going to be very sort of, you know, water and power. Kind of self-explanatory what they're going to be. They're going to be needed for getting your sort of prison up and running. Make sure you're putting capacitors next to the power station, otherwise it just won't actually generate power. And you can turn it off and on, and you get your CCTV and everything, large circuit, door servo, everything in between. Deployment only happens when we actually have unlocked stuff, because I'll show you that in a second, but I actually don't think we can get into that. No, we need a warden to get into that. There's sort of research you can do for the game, and it allows you to then further improve things. You'll soon see that, hopefully, because we won't be long for doing a warden, I think. So deployment is like, you know, certain areas you can assign so many staff to a certain building. Like, you know, if you have a big prison cell area, you might want to put some extra soldiers? Dang! Might be a bit forceful. Guards in there. Logistics, you know, it's assigning prisoners to work in, say, your classrooms, your mailroom, and everything like that. And then intelligence, you know, shows the sources of contraband and all recently discovered contraband. So, you know, stuff that's not allowed. Now, of course, your emergencies clone, you literally can copy in place. Like, if you want to copy an exact structure the way it is, there you go. So, how about we get some buildings in? Because I've talked enough about all that. Hopefully, you, any more details you want to know about it, please just shout out in the comments if you want to know. I have been kind of playing with the idea of whether or not I want to go with a series. That's because I've been loving it. Some people have kind of mentioned it, but we'll see. We'll see. Right, so I want a pathway. I want to put a pathway to here. Because I'm going to put some perimeter fencing just to kind of wall this off. And we're just going to have it immediately just come into... Do I want to put... I want it... no. I want to have it that. That's going to be your... put it one... Yeah. Go wait. Yeah. Basically, it's going to be like a welcome room. Your welcome room's going to have stuff. I highly recommend pausing while you're doing this. Apparently, it's shower time. Who figures? Right. So we're going to go with that, and then we're going to have a nice wee pathway out the back here. Yes. I mean, that comes in. That is slightly off, annoyingly. Okay, so if we actually put that, that's that better then, right? No. Dang it. Yeah, that's that better now. If we have then a pathway, you know, a 3x3, and just to get the general idea. Now we might want to attach to this area some staff quarters. If I make them, well, if we have a hallway of about maybe a 1. We have it like a 1. And then we have some staff rooms. Because we're going to have doors here. It's going to be a door. That's going to be a wall. Can I actually turn that into a door? Yeah. That's going to be a door. Immediately going to have a door. Because then we're just going to create staff rooms. Now, I keep almost going to press Control Z because I'm used to doing that to like undo, and it's like, no, that's not how the game works. Is that a bit big? I think that's a bit big. If we put it to there, yes, right. So that was what up again? I just take that away because you can actually measure this out. Right, so no, we'll do that to there. So it's 6 meters along. So that's going to be 5 then. Yep. And then you bring it down. 5. Bring it down. Right, and then we have a door. No, wait. Door. Yeah. So basically some staff quarters. We might want to extend this a little bit. And put in just another. Now this is just kind of basic planning. So you can get the idea of what I'm actually after. Put it to there. Oh, take that away. And there we go. It's going to take that away just now and put that like that. Because that's going to be some staff quarters, essentially. You can put in a staff room, but we really want to get the warden in so we can do stuff. Now, I'm going to just quickly set up. I know what you tend to be, you probably do a big bit of planning. Ideally, that's what you kind of want to do. But what we're going to do here is quickly get just some basic cells up and some basic canteen and everything like that, so you guys can see what it is. I'm going to jump into the campaign so you can see a bit more of an advanced sort of way how it's played out. Also, we do want a door there, and we'll take it from there. So, ideally, I might want to put... Going to put the holding cell here. Right, because if I jump into the grants... yeah, grants and basic his. So this wants us to create a holding cell, a shower, a yard, kitchen, canteen, tire 2 cards, and 2 cooks. So we want to be able to then. So that's a holding cell. Ideally, that's going to there's going to be a wall across here. There's going to actually put that wall there. Yeah. Ideally, that's going to be where the holding cell is going to be. So we then just pop that there. And then we're just going to have immediately to its left a whole area. 36. Yeah. Maybe bring it down a bit. actually, probably better doing is doing it that way. Yes. Bring it across 16 by 29. That's a created additional wall. Now I have like looked up some other videos, and it does seem to be there is a, how should I say, there like walls can break. So it's something to consider when you're making sort of like your perimeter wall in a way. Right. So if we have that, and then we have, you know, the entrance being like here, because that's going to be a double gate. You have a selection of gates, just to quickly jump across here. You have a selection of gates. You've got jail door and large jail door, and you've got doors, solitaire doors, staff doors. So it's all things to consider when building as well. There's, like I said, there is a lot to consider, but it's really good. Right, so we're going to want the pathway to be right down the middle, I think, actually. That may be a good idea. So if we brought that down, because that's technically 5. Yep, let's do it this way then. Nope. That's slightly smaller, is it not? I can't actually tell. I may be wondering what's down here. That's just going to be shower facility. So that's the shower facility, and that is the pathway into it. There we go. Now we do need a yard, so I'm going to probably, because we're kind of going to cut this off in a way. I'm going to put some perimeter fencing down this way. I think, yeah, we'll make that perimeter fencing, and we're just going to take it up from here. And we're just going to create just a nice sort of, maybe a 22 long. Down we go. That could be a yard. Because what I'm ideally going to put next to it is a canteen. Now I'm going to make the canteen, but 16 by 16. Yeah, make it 16 by 16. Make another double wall, and then we'll have the sort of kitchen here. Now obviously things going to be replaced and redone as you go along. I'm just going to put a door and door there, and then we'll have, you know, some benches and stuff in there. Just going to fill that in because that's going to be a perimeter wall. So ideally that's kind of like initially what you're going to need, because we'll be, you know, shower, holding cell, shower, yard, kitchen, canteen, guards, cooks. So now we can actually do that and start to fill this in. So if I do this, nice. Just going to quickly jump to this, and we want some paving stone, thank you. Nice. I could start to like let this go, but I don't want to let it go just yet. Oh dear, I cancelled that. Actually, we're probably better to just do that. And then we could end up, needs to build the actual, you'll see it's pretty darn fantastic the way it sort of builds up and does everything together. Right, if we do that there, and then we do this here. Oh, that's going red down here. Okay, we'll just bring that back a bit. Right clicking does get rid of a building immediately, so if you want, you know, if it's wrong. And then we're going to get some perimeter fencing. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And do the same down here. Right, I'm just going to unpause so we can actually see some of this going. I'm just going to speed it up so the workers get to work with everything going on. Ah! One thing I've forgotten. A generator room. Probably going to just set it right here. If we make it, they're going to fit them both. Yeah, we'll make it that size. Just to kind of give us a, because we do need them. You definitely do need them. I put that there and put that there. Right, there we go. Just hit escape to get out. Controls are fairly simple for the game, but let's got loads of deliveries coming in. We do need a couple more staff members, just to kind of hurry us up a little bit. So it's nice how it's like comes in. Like they'll build the foundations and everything, and build it all out, and then it just kind of flows in and looks amazing. So we've got actually a sort of a positive increase of money, but we actually don't have much money at all. Oh dear. I'm wondering if we have any more grants we can actually take, just to build 2 offices, hire a warden. Yeah, we'll take that just now, so it gives us a wee bit extra money. We do need a capacitor. Actually, don't put it there, put it there, because then that should connect them straight to each other. Now, your utilities will be connected via your pipes and your electrical cable. I quite like this. That's almost done. Probably could have scaled that back a bit and only had like 2 offices. Because I believe we haven't actually even put the hallway for this to work yet. We need some doors. We'll just put a nice wee, just hit R to rotate. Nice wee door at the front and a nice wee door at the back, so we can get through. You almost done with that? Come on, fellas! Chip chop! There we go, nice flow in. It looks so good. And putting in all the lights and costing me a fortune. That's turned on, I believe. Yep. That's not created the wall I wanted. You're going to learn things as you go along, basically. We do want to have a nice big jail door there. Now I'm just going to slow this down a bit so we can actually get an idea of what we're doing. Now, these are going to cost 50. This is going to cost 50. So either or, it's just going to be same. So if I just get this and this in, and then put this in. We want to have a staff door only here. Right, there we go. Just jumping back to materials. What do I want to do? This was the holding cell, wasn't it? If I remember right. Yes. 250 and 250. And then bring that across. I'm just going to put a large jail door there as well. And there. Right, so designating rooms requires you to just... If we just take this and then we actually... We're going to speed this up till they finish that. Quite happy with that actually. So this is going to be a holding cell. I'm just going to jump to planning and get rid of that. Right. And get rid of that. Okay, so holding cell. Minimum 5x5. Dang it. Made it too small. Demolish walls, please. So it's a 5x5, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. We made it like 1 off. So if I put that there then, that's going to work, isn't it? I hope. They'll just take the materials and just budget over. Anyone going to take the... They can't get out. Silly. You get stuck inside. But this is not going away. Can someone please take that away? It's not 5x5. Oh dear. What if we make it all the holding cell then? So if I choose room, make this and make it totally... That it? Yep, toilet. Okay, why is this? Can someone please dismantle this and dump it? Pretty please. Thank you. Right, so we do need a toilet, and I love how it actually comes up and tells you. So we need a toilet to make this work. Right, so let's go objects. Let's grab a toilet. Just gonna pop it in the corner there. We need a bench. Gonna pop it over there. Just, you know, put a couple of benches. There we go. Now you do need to run some cabling. So just gonna bring this up here. How about that cabling up there? Piping's gonna need to kind of go this way. There we go. So we've got some piping going, and we got a holding cell. Then we do need a shower area, which was going to be this down here. We do have a positive increase in cash flow, which is always nice. That's still not unless no, they haven't placed that cabling down yet because they can't actually get into the bloody thing. It's gonna put there needs to be staff door down so they can get in. Doink. There we go. It says powered, which will be we don't actually need a welcome area just yet. There are no canteens accessible because we don't have a canteen yet, which we'll get to, game. Don't you worry. And we could actually build 2 offices and hire a warden, but then we need to do these, which might cost a bit. So ideally, we want to try and get the shower bit done, just to give us the money to just get things going a little bit. So we do that, and then, no, we don't want that. Objects, sprinkler, shower. So if we just pop a couple of showers in there. And then we take materials, no, rooms. Shower. Completely went by shower, haven't I? Yes. There we go. Just left a box with lights, apparently. Right, so that is turned on. Why is that not getting power? There are no no canteen. I need a canteen of it. Sometimes you can have strange things going on. Right, we want to be able to put that there for the canteen, and then put a staff door there. So we need a yard. A yard's fairly easy actually. We just actually take room, and where is it? Yard. Create yard. That's the yard done. And now for the kitchen. Now the kitchen, we do if we create the kitchen first. There we go. And a canteen. Now the kitchen requires a cooker, fridge, and sink. So if we put sink like here outside, and we need a fridge. We'll put the fridge here. And actually maybe put the fridge there. And then if we put the cooker next to it, sort of. There we go. So that'll be us creating the kitchen. Now it's still out of power just now because I don't want to use money just yet. Right, so we do have the kitchen done. Build a canteen. Now we need some serving tables. Put that there. And we need a table. So if we get a couple of tables, either side here. And we need a bench. Pop a bench down there and pop a bench down there. Just basically trying to get this done so we can be able... Insufficient funds. Dang it. Right, we do need 2 cooks and 2 guards, and then we can get an extra 10k to then do the sort of cabling we need to then power this all, which would be ideal. And then we'll be able to focus on this. I don't know if we actually have another report. I'm just going to slow this down so nothing happens. Do we have any other grants? No, these are locked until we do the other 2. So daily cash flow is kind of going up. There's no point in sort of sitting around waiting on this, so we're going to... Ooh. Can we actually do anything with this? How does that not build that? Because we could take a daily, like, minus food tree. But we're not actually having any food tree. Okay, so do we have it? We do need to hire some guards, but to hire some guards we're gonna need... Dang it. Can I hire the cooks? Nope. Can I sell something? That is one thing to consider, is you can't actually sell things. You can dismantle them, but it won't actually do anything for you. So that's that way. That's that off. Because we could... No, building office is not going to actually give us the money either. Dang it. What I'll do is I'll quickly jump ahead so you guys, until we get the cash flow basically needed to get these guys. So, give me a second. Alright guys, that's that for a little bit and finally have the cash flow to actually get these. So, you need to hire 2 guards and 2 cooks and then that'll be us. So if I do doink, doink, doink. Voila! And then we get an additional 10k, which is very, very nice. Your prisoner is close to new inmates right now. See the intake report. So we can then have the money to set this up, but first, I'm probably going to use the money to then build the offices, hire the warden, unlike this and that, because then we'll get an additional 5,000. Because looking at the actual bits and bobs, it's not actually too much to make these. I'll have to put the wall though. It's the only thing. The wall. Just watch our money carefully. Objects, we do need a desk, which would be nice. Nice wee desk, and a chair. And that's the offices built. We do need to power them though. Right now we still don't have enough power going around the whole base, but then we've got that. We just want to hire a warden. I'm just going to pop him in there. Unlock the finance bureau. So basically bureaucracy. So you can click this and it's basically allows you to see research. So we want, is it unlock finance? So we're just going to click this and then get that going. That says 5 hours. Basically it's 5 hours in-game time, nothing else. And hire an accountant requires finance. So we do have to do that. What we probably might want to do is maybe power up things. If I brought this over here into the piping down there, it's 360. And pop it into there. We're going to need some power going across into here and here. Let's watch our money. There we go. That should be that done. The lights are still not on in this bit. Bring us up to about here. You should be able to power that up then, because it does have a sort of radius effect. As you notice, it's like this green, and it kind of does, you know, the wires feed out across the floor. It's nicely done. I do love just the sort of general art style the game's got going on. It's really freaking cool. That's that powered up now. It still doesn't have. Why do you not have? There's water here. Look, it goes straight. Ow. Really? I didn't actually connect. Alright, that's odd if there ever was one. Right, so we do need to hire an accountant. Let's get an accountant before we lost some money. There we go. There we got another. And now we can actually take a couple of new grants. So, cell block A, the basics are up and running. It's time to build your first cell block. And transfer existing prisoners into cell. What we can do now is take our intake up and put it to, say, we wanted to say 5. And again, it's payment from taking them in. I'm going to actually finish off this wall here, because we'll probably want to be doing that. There we go. Just so you know, the canteen's ready to go. Why is that still not getting water? It's got water going straight into it. I don't know. How much is this going to cost? We'll do it. Then we'll just bring that across into them. Install a large pipe in the kitchen. There is a large pipe installed in the kitchen, trust me. Right, so we have that, we have everything ready to go for inmates. So I'm just going to jump in here though and quickly take the grant and take this one as we go. So we got a nice advanced payment. 1 minimum security for, so prisoners arriving, raise the prisoner capacity to 15. Although we have our cell block set up. What does that require me to do? Completed. So we have basic detention center, unlock finance, cancelling costs. So we just need to raise our prisoner count. What I'm going to do is actually just get the walls in. We could actually, because if we put that, that's actually slightly bigger. Although I might actually, yeah, we're just going to do that. And Now the idea is like, see if you, when you're building your wall, don't fill it in completely. Like wherever you put in your door, leave it, because then that's saving you a bit of cash. I did, while sitting thinking while waiting for the money to take over, my problem was I overextended. Like I didn't need this, and if you actually, you know, take to get into the cost, because you're going, you know, that's 200 and then another 300 and then of course the wall, so you're spending about 500 in a room like that. It's an extra grand that you could use elsewhere. So it's just little things to consider. That was my own fault, though. Please forgive me in that one. Don't want to do that. To that. To that. To that. Is that finally up and working? Yeah, it's flowing just fine. Don't put that outside. There we go. And there we go. So we want some cell doors on these guys. And then boink, 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 boink. Not there. Right, and that's going to be all our cells. I'm just going to speed up the time because we will have a collection of prisoners coming in shortly, I believe. And then that'll be just us. And then I'll quickly show you just how the campaign's done for a couple of minutes. And then I'll probably finish off the video. These guys are coming in 17 hours, so they're pretty much the next day. So we should have this all ready to go. Why are the showers still not powered? What I might do is actually install a couple of drains here and here, though. Why are the showers still not powered? No, they are powered. No, it's actual electricity we need. Alright, so if we brought that down... if we just bring that in from there, bring it down, that should be us, and everything should be powered. Now he's still sitting in darkness, so we might want to kind of extend that up a bit. There we go. Now these are all going to be cells, so we're just going to create this and then just do, I think we can actually just do this. Boink, boink, boink. Now the cells do actually require a few bits and bobs. We need a bed and a toilet. As simple as that. Put the bed. Also, just noticed our generator has ran out of power. Get a couple more capacitors on that. Please and thanking you. And then we want some toilets. Now, the best thing to do is keep the toilets on the same side because then you can run your piping up. Because then we can just run this piping up to here. And this piping down here. Same again. There you go. That should be us. Can someone install the other capacitors so we're not all staying in the darkness, please? Anyone? Switch one. There we go. Now the doors you can actually, like, all the doors can actually be done with door mode with selected, which is, you know, your all your guards and that are going to be allowed to do. Lock shut, of course, we'll just shut it. Open, leaves it open for anyone, but you're better to kind of leave it normal for your guards to actually go in. Now, if I don't think I could do deployment yet. No, I require actually deployment, which extra grant, mode expansion, micromanagement, security. What do I actually need for this? Deployment, which is here. So I'm wanting to get that. Because deployment allows you to then assign your units in that. It's going to get rid of, because we can then get rid of all that. Make it nice and neat looking. Right, so once actually the prisoners come in, then I'll jump into the campaign, because this is a slightly longer video than I intended, but we've covered quite a lot on the basis. So we have everything, you know, for your basic prison up and running, except that random light not being powered. That will annoy me. Literally need a bit of cabling. You can actually add extra lights in if you want. Right, the prisoners are coming in. 5 prisoners are arriving. And we need to raise it to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We literally need 3 more cells. Dang it. We could potentially add it onto this, but then it's just going to look odd. But it might be worth doing so. I mean, if we put a prison door attached to this, and then just extend Gonna need... Because that's gonna fit 1, so it's 5, 3, 4. Or 3. Yeah, I'll be 3. There we go. Chip chop. I'm awaiting. Get your butt down here. There we go. We have some lovely prisoners coming in. And then we get the money. Officer guards just going to go out and pick them up. And then there we go. And then they'll just get placed in their cell. And you can actually click on them and get a little detail. Every prisoner has a biography and what their conviction is, how long they're serving. You can search the prisoner, search the cell block, you can punish them, and so on and so forth. There is so much in it, it is nuts. Anyway guys, I'm going to quickly save this. Why is that down again? It is on. Oh, these rooms are just not used right now. I'm just going to quickly save this. SG. I said SG. Now I'm just going to jump into the campaign where I was so you guys can see what's going on. I can't actually quite remember what I'm doing so far, but we'll soon see. There we go, quickly jumped in. So we've got everything going on. What I might do is actually restart this chapter so you guys can get an idea of what's going on. This is chapter 5. It just looks awesome. Today on CNDC News, a special report on the state of all prisons. It's 2 years since the infamous siege of Alchemical, so that's the way you say it, claimed so many lives, including that of Chief Executive. Today we hear from leading experts. What I'll do is I'll quickly skip this. Maybe get a wee call and, you know, let me congratulate you on your appointment, because I don't want to give it away 2 minutes already, but you have to then fix this. It's like, yeah, you have an execution chamber, fix everything else. I thought you have he's walking around with an actual mobile phone on him, or cell phone, whatever country you're living in refers to. As for objectives, I'm giving you the same as I gave to your predecessor, Profits. Reoffending rates, apparently. It's entirely up to you. One last thing, the previous CEO, Charles Wallace, left behind a letter that he used to give out to any new prison architects who joined the firm. He had some good advice, you may find it useful. And then you get dumped with dealing with this. I just like the whole look and nature of the campaign, the way it's done. Anyway, guys, this has been a smash look at Prison Architect. I do not want to keep you any longer because this video is pretty long. Thank you again for watching, though. You can find the Steam link down below, and I shall see you all next time.